Alone in the crowd of rugged men, nursing his drink in the far corner of the old post town's only tavern, Kiam, a single man strides in through the tavern door. Massively built, he wears the garb of a warrior. His solid uniform bespeaks a long journey. Fadage marks his face, but his eyewear are patronage gleam. The look of a fighting man on active duty. A hero's return. That is the title of this dream. A hero's return. The tavern's dim hushes instantly. Every drunken eye in the place fastens on the soldier with awe and gratitude. The long war with the neighboring country has ended at last, and the men who fought on the front lines are returning to their homes. So it was this military man. The soldier takes a seat in the table next to Kiam's and downs a slug of liquor with the foreclutchness of a hard drinker, a man who drinks to kill his pain. 2 cups. 3. 4. Another customer approaches him, bottle in hand, wearing an enlightening grin, a typical whatever the word is, town punk. Let me offer you a drink, windles the man, as a token of gratitude for your heroic efforts on behalf of the fatherland. The scoundrel unsmilingly allows the man to fill his cup. How was it at the front? I'm sure you performed many valiant deeds on the battlefield. The soldier empties his cup in silence. The punk refills the cup and adopts an ever more frowning smile. Now that we're friends, how about telling me some war tales? You got such big, strong arms. How many enemy soldiers did you... Without a word, the soldier hurls the contents of his cup into the man's face. The punk flies into a blind rage and draws his knife. No sooner does it leave its sheath, whatever the word is, than Kiam first sends it flying through the air. Faced with the powerful united front of Kiam and the soldier, the punk runs out, muttering curses. The 2 big men watch them go, then share a faint smile. Kiam doesn't have to speak with the soldier to know that he lives in deep sadness. For his part, the soldier, having cheated death by any number of times, is aware of the shadow that lurks in Kiam's expression. The tavern's dim returns. Kiam and the soldier pour each other drinks. I got a wife and daughter. I haven't seen them since I shipped out, says the soldier. It's been 3 long years. He lets himself smile, whatever the word is, now for the first time as he takes a photograph of his wife and daughter from his pocket and shows it to Kiam. The wife, a woman of dewy freshness, the daughter still very young. They're the reason I survived. The thought of going home to them alive was all that sustained me in battle. It is your home far from here. No, my village is just open the next pass. I'm sure they've heard the news that the war is over, and I can hardly wait to have me home. Okay, that's weird. He could get there tonight if he wanted to badly enough. It was that close. But the soldier dows a mouthful of liquor and groans. I'm afraid. Afraid? Of what? I want to see my wife and daughter, but I'm afraid to have them see me. I don't know how many men I killed these past 3 years. I had no choice. I had to do it to stay alive. If I was to get back to my family, I had no choice but to kill one enemy soldier after another. And each and every one of those men had families they had left at home. It was the code of war, the soldier's destiny. To stay alive in battle, you had to go on killing men before they could kill you. That's actually a very true rule. Seriously, it really is. I had no time to think about such a thing at the front. I was too busy trying to survive. I see it now, though. Now that the war is over, 3 years of sin are carved into my face. This is the face of a killer. I don't want to show this face to my wife and daughter. The soldier pulls out a leather pouch from which he withdraws a small stone. He tells Kiam that it is an unpolished gemstone, something he found shortly after he left from the battlefield. That's interesting. A gemstone? Kiam asks, unconvinced. The stone of the table is a dull black without a hint of gleam a gem should have. Whatever. It sparkled when I first found it. I was sure my daughter would love it when I brought it to her. Home to her. Whatever. Gradually, though, the stone lost its gleam and turned dully. Every time I killed an enemy soldier, something like the stains of his blood would rise to the surface of the stone. As you can see, it's almost solid black now after 3 years. The stone is stained by the sins I've committed. I called it my sin stone. I don't know how... You don't have to blame yourself so harshly, said Kiam. You had to do it to stay alive. I know that, said the soldier. I know that, but still, just like me, the men I killed had villages to go home to, and families waiting for them there. The soldier then says to Kiam, you too, I suppose, must have a family. Kiam gives his hand a little shake. Not me, he says. No family. A home village at least? I don't have any place to go home to. Eternal traveler, hey? That's me. The soldier chuckles down softly and gives Kiam a sore smile. It is hard to tell how fully he believes what Kiam has told him. He slips the sin stone into the leather pouch and says, you know what I think? If the stone turned darker every time I look at life, it ought to get some of its gleam back any time I save a life. Instead of answering, Kiam drinks the last drops of liquor from his cup and rises from the table. The soldier remains in his chair, and Kiam, staring down at him, offers him these words of advice. If you have a place to go home to, you should go for it. Just go, no matter how much guilt you may have weighed you down. I'm sure your wife and daughter will understand. You're no criminal. You're a hero. You fought your heart out to stay alive. I'm glad I met you, said the soldier. I needed to hear that. He holds his right hand out to Kiam, who grasps it in return. I hope your travels go well, says the soldier. And your travels will soon be over, says Kiam with a smile, staring for the door. Just then, the pug charges at Kiam from behind, wielding a pistol. Watch out. I can't read the rest. The screen is just... Oh, I'll look at the preview screen. That'll help. Doy. Watch out. I'm terribly sorry. I just can't read the rest of this. The screen on my TV is just too bright, and also the preview doesn't really help either. So, feel free to read the rest. You had plenty of time. I'm moving on. Again? Bad screenshot. I apologize. Finally, clears up. Sprawled on the floor, nearly unconscious, the soldier thrust a leather pouch into Kiam's hands. Look at my sinstone, will you? Maybe, he says, chuckling weakly, whatever. Some of its shine has come back. Blood spouts from his mouth, striking the laugh. Kiam looks inside the bag and says, It's sparkling now. It's Dean. Dean. It is? Gasped the soldier. Good. My daughter will be so glad. He smiles with satisfaction and holds his hand out of the pouch. Gently, Kiam lays the pouch on the palm of his hand and folds the man's fingers over it. The soldier draws his last breath, and the pouch falls to the floor. The dead man's face wears a peaceful expression. The stone, however, the man's sin stone, which has rolled from the open pouch, is as black as ever. The end.